Good morning, members. I call the Committee of Supply, Section A, back to order. We are meeting today to continue the consideration of the budget estimates of the Ministry of Social Development and Poverty Reduction. I now recognize the Minister to move the vote.
Thank you, Chair. I move that a sum not exceeding $5,747,116,000 be granted to His Majesty to defray the expenses of the Ministry of Social Development and Poverty Reduction Ministry operations to March 31st, 2026.
Thank you, Minister. I now recognize the member for Kelowna Centre.
Thank you, Chair. So we'll continue asking questions. I was on the category of executive and support services, and overhead. So is the ministry tracking internal productivity metrics for executive and support services? If so, can the minister table performance indicators for that division and whether it is meeting them?
Minister.
Thank you, Chair. So as we were describing yesterday, the executive and support services kind of category or line item is actually distributed amongst almost everything that touches ministry service delivery. So the performance metrics are on the actual delivery of service that the member described yesterday. Wait times and how long does it take to answer a phone, and did everybody get their checks on time, and how quickly does it is a application for PWD processed. So what's happening, the activity that's happening in the executive and support services line that the member describes is it's not like a single team, it's part of almost every team. It's like basically the back office that supports everything that ministry delivers. So it's all policy, all finance, freedom of information, the deputy minister's office, everything that supports the front line.
Kelowna Centre.
Thank you. What exactly is the public getting for the extra $2.5 million in overhead spending since 2022-2023? And please provide a breakdown of new staff positions, salaries, and contracts under this line item.
Minister.
Thanks. So that's also something that we'll undertake to provide in writing. We don't have the data from those years, and certainly very happy to provide for the member the different operating conditions and environments between those 2 years, between that big gap in time.
Kelowna Centre.
I'm getting better at waiting for acknowledgement. Can the minister table all external consulting contracts awarded under executive and support services since 2021? Please include vendor, value, purpose, and justification.
Minister.
Thank you. That's all public information, so we're happy to point the member to where she can see it online.
Kelowna Centre.
How many staff in the division earn over $100,000 annually? Please table a breakdown of compensation levels for all management level positions in executive and supportive services.
Minister.
That's also all publicly available, all published online, and we're happy to provide a link for the member.
Kelowna Centre.
Given the need to target limited funds to those most in need, will the minister commit to capping executive and support services spending in 2025-26 at 2022-23 levels and redirecting surplus to frontline benefits instead?
Minister.
Thank you, Chair. So I think as the member knows, executive compensation is set by the Public Service Agency and the member, and not by my ministry, and the member could take this up with the Minister of Finance during estimates.
Kelowna Centre.
Through the chair, does the minister believe that the ministry is achieving better results for the public with this larger administrative apparatus? And given the minister's budget review mandate, will she commit to a full audit of executive and support services to identify functions that could be consolidated or eliminated?
Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Without accepting the premise of the member's question, and also noting that we have a lot of planning and policy work built into the ministry that did not exist before the NDP took government in 2017. For example, BC was the last place in the country to have a plan to tackle poverty. We've now developed two, and we push and work across government to make sure that every ministry has investing in people to combat poverty as part of their central work. So the first part of the question, I don't accept the premise, but absolutely, and the member knows it's written into my mandate letter, as it is to every minister's mandate letter, that we are looking at every part of our operations to find efficiencies, to make sure that spending is focused on making the biggest impact on the lives of British Columbians. And it is the focus of looking at every program and the way that we deliver it and who delivers it is all about focusing on outcomes for people. We will be working also protecting and strengthening critical services is my commitment, and also the instruction in my mandate letter.
Kelowna Centre.
Thank you. So I'm going to ask a couple questions about Heart and Hearth programs. Can the minister confirm how many people SDPR supported with income or disability assistance under the Heart or Hearth programs in 2023-24 fiscal year? What percentage of encampment residents were successfully linked to financial supports?
Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you to the member for giving me the opportunity to talk about our community integration specialists, because they are gems. The Heart and Hearth program is administered by the Minister of Housing, so I'm not going to be able to give the member the numbers about Heart and Hearth outcomes that she was asking for, but I'm sure that the Housing Minister would be happy to provide that. But let me take the opportunity to talk about one of the element that SDPR provides to the Heart and Hearth work, which for the benefit of the public, or at least my parents who I think are watching, that we as a ministry have returned outreach workers as a way to connect people who have become alienated from service and are, in this case, without housing. Community integration specialists go and meet people where they are. We had a team at the time that we adopted the homelessness strategy in British Columbia, when the Premier was at that time the AG and the Housing Minister. There were 73 community integration specialists. We now have 187 in every corner of the province. They provide expedited intakes for income and PWD assistance. They receive shelter and health requests. so that they then work with those teams to connect people with supports. They do case management, homelessness outreach, coordinating housing inspections, referrals and inquiries from community partners, coordination of services. They are embedded in Aboriginal friendship centers in every corner of the province, and drop-in centers or an OPS. It could be anywhere that people that have been alienated from services and are without housing might be. So we have more than double the number of CIS specialists already. They have successfully distributed encampment fire suppression equipment in partnership with Ministry of Housing and Municipal Affairs, BC Housing, and the Ministry of Public Safety, and have also been really important to attach people to the Revoy team, and also the coordinated access and assessment tables that connect people with housing. And with that, Madam Chair, I move that the committee rise and report progress and ask leave to sit again.
The members have heard the question. Those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you, members. This committee stands adjourned.